aware of this, and because of your knowledge of Kuwait.
No, that's not what I mean.
Okay.
What I meant was, America right now is kind of like, it likes Kuwait and it likes some of the Arab countries, mainly, well, Kuwait mainly because of the oil, correct?
America is interested in Kuwait.
Yeah, because of the oil.
Doesn't like, it's interested in Kuwait.
Okay, interested in Kuwait because of the oil. Eventually, the oil is going to run out. So I was thinking America might have this strategic plan where they help some of the Arab countries, you know, sort their money out in a way so that even when the oil runs out, they'll be able to invest in outside countries.
I'm not sure I understand about helping other countries. Why would the Kuwaitis need U.S. help in how to advise them how to invest their money?
Because Kuwait...
I mean, when you think about it, the United States isn't exactly doing very well when it comes to their economic
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say
situation.
is, as a strategic plan, Americans could say to themselves, let's say, okay, if the oil does run out in these countries, we're not going to really be interested in them anymore. But if we can kind of persuade them to invest in our countries, have buildings, and kind of like be more united with us with like buildings, like Kuwaitis coming and building hotels in California, let's say, and kind of like owning land in other countries, then even after the oil's run out, we'll still have this kind of like good flow of...
But if U.S. doesn't need Kuwait, why should it...
The whole Middle East.
Well, I mean here's the thing now. If I'm the United States and I look at the realities of why I'm in this region, okay? One, we said there's an Israeli card, okay? The other is access to oil. Ladies, please. All right. And the reason we care about oil is because it's an important resource for generating power, okay? So it would be in U.S. interest to begin to look at all alternative types of
that's what I mean.
energy,
it's finding a different way.
But not for the purpose of helping Kuwait.
No, for the purpose of
helping the
keeping
United
the ties.
States, and they're doing well. The ties are there. The ties are there because it is the interest of countries to have relationships. Okay. Now you could argue
America still wants to have
well, you could argue that in order to help Israel, okay, survive, that it is in the interest of those supporting Israel to support some sort of development in the region that doesn't create conditions where the whole region is going to go into, you know, just kind of be consumed by a ball of fire, which is what a lot of people are concerned about, right? And it's one of the dangers that people are, you know, on one hand, everyone's saying, you know, it's in Israel's interest to have all these different countries in this kind of turmoil. It gives them more time to kind of resolve their issues with how they're going to deal with the Palestinian relocation, because that's something that's on the minds of a lot of Israelis. On the other hand, you know, you got to be very careful. If you want instability, instability can also backfire on you, right? You know, it's kind of, they call this the Frankenstein syndrome. That is, we create the monster who then does what to us? Destroys us. Okay? So, but you got to look at it at that point of view. And that is what would it take, why would the United States want to maintain its relationship with Kuwait?
See, that's
not because it cares about Kuwait.
It's not just about Kuwait, it's about all the other countries as well. I mean, how I got this idea was it's basically America is interested, and America is a big power, and it's interested in a lot of countries because of what they have to offer back to America, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem with that is that if these countries, like for Kuwait, for example, it's only the oil, nothing else really. I mean, mainly, 90% of it is just
well,
oil.
It's not,
What
remember,
about when
it's
it runs
not just
out?
oil. I mean, frankly speaking, its interest in Kuwait is number one, oil. Number two, its interest as it indirectly relates to Israel. And number three, you have, you know, Kuwait is a pretty, you know, Kuwait is, it sits on a pretty impressive cash reserve. Okay, they have a lot of, Kuwait has a lot of money. And the United States, and the United States needs to borrow money. It needs to go to different countries to borrow money, right? So it's an interest of maintaining stability in the region because a lot of money is owed to this part of this area.
So that leads to the point that if America has those 2 points...
Ladies, please, just
Sorry.
if America has those 2 points for why they're interested in Kuwait, what happens if America kind of like sits back, like looks at Kuwait and sees that slowly they're spending more money than they're getting, and that the oil's going to run out, and that the ties are going to be left. But if they can help them strategically, maybe they'll be able to multiply their money, and therefore
I mean, you're
America
looking
will
at it
benefit
like
from
a father looking at his daughter,
that. Sense of my head.
but you're looking at, I mean, when I hear you say what you just said, I'm thinking about me looking at my daughter 10 years from now, okay, and coming back and telling me, you know, Tato, I just spent $20,000 and you only gave me a $15,000 allowance for the year, okay? All right, so what do? So I gotta put her on some sort of regimental, you know, payment plan to pay off her $5,000, not to mention that the subsequent year, she doesn't, you know, do the same mistake, spend more money than she's taking in, right? You know, you have the issue of sovereignty. Other countries can't begin. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can't, I mean, don't you guys, if you guys recall, when they were talking about how they were going to bail out Greece in the initial stages, they had a big summit, okay? Charles, you may remember that. That was, I mean, I found that very interesting. You know, they had a big summit, economic summit, they had a big summit of all the different countries, and they were talking about how they're going to deal with the debt situation. And the United States visited. Remember what's his name? The Treasury guy, Gardner went to give a presentation, and the major players from the European Union said, you know what? You worry about your own country. You know, don't lecture us on how to, you know, balance our budget when you are having a problem yourself. We'll do it our way. Okay. The point is you got to be very, very careful here. Okay, and it makes a lot more sense from a diplomatic point of view, okay, to approach it in such a way where you have a win situation for yourself, and you're able to agree or convince the other other individual, other country, that it's a win situation for them, right? So it's got to be a win-win, but it can't be a lecture. It can't be some form of,
yeah,
you know.
I know that. Like, I don't want America to kind of stick its nose where it doesn't belong. I mean, Kuwait at the end of the day is a sovereign state, but maybe if another governmental, or not governmental, another like international organization was formed, which kind of like, you know, made other countries want to join them, and all of this would keep it more like give them more opportunities to kind of invest inside America. For future
Charles,
reference.
you want to
I just wanted to respond to Nana's first comment about the end of oil in Kuwait. There is actually a permanent fund set up in Kuwait to keep this money reserve going for Kuwait post-oil. That already exists in Kuwait. I don't know if it's hundreds of millions of KD or a billion KD or whatever. But that model is not unique to Kuwait. It exists in other oil-producing countries like Norway, Alaska. The United States also has a permanent fund. The problem in Kuwait, of course, is it's mismanaged. Very heavily mismanaged, a lot of corruption, so I think if Kuwait really wanted to focus on trying to be sustainable with their cash flow after oil, then they need to start focusing on trying to make that fund, you know, work. Because right now it's not
America
working.
can't do anything about that.
Yeah, but
It's not really America's business to worry about it.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So
Norway
I'm trying to
doesn't ask them.
integrate. The only reason is because of this game, because I know that I live in Kuwait, I was just trying to like see a way that maybe
But you're
America.
assuming Kuwait isn't aware of this. And
No,
that's what's
Kuwait is
making me
aware of it.
uncomfortable by the
No,
way
not
you're
to tell them,
approaching
but just
this.
give them an opportunity to kind of invest in America as well. Like I want to link what I already
Why
know.
should I invest in America? In a multipolar world, I can invest anywhere
Or
I
not in
want.
America, but like America like sets up another international organization where countries come
Yeah, but
in,
see-
invest together, maybe do projects together, like try and like that.
Well, you know,
Kind of like spike up some interest, more ties, you know, get some countries coming together and invest
well,
together to do
you already
something.
have organizations, okay, that are in place that are at the level of this intergovernmental kind of area that you're talking about. But, and I see your point, it's just you gotta be very careful how you
Word it.
work, because one of the biggest problems that occurs, and it doesn't just happen across diplomatic tables, it happens in day-to-day life, when you begin talking to another individual, where you begin to sound like you're lecturing them, okay? And that's a very problematic situation, because no one likes to
Every country has like
be,
their dignity.
you know, it's condescending, you know, white people, I call it a Tarzan syndrome. Okay? You guys, when I was growing up, we'd watch Tarzan on television. And this is a white guy in little leather shorts running around and saving Africa. Okay? Now,